Hey everyone, it's Jacinda Alia Dalal here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I get ready for my shows. So I'm going to be showing my makeup routine and my tips and tricks. These are just the technique I use and that I've picked up over the years from performing. And I would love to hear some of your thoughts and any suggestions. If you try any of these tricks, definitely let me know. Okay, to start out with, I start with a clean face, cleanly washed. And first I start with moisturizer. So I just put a couple of pumps of this on my hand and just tap onto all over my face, a little bit on my neck. Okay, and then let it dry. So I used to be quite a minimalist here and I didn't really believe in primers, but I started using primers about a year ago and I really love it. I wish I had been using it all along. It really helps to smooth everything out and create a nice base for the foundation to go on so the foundation doesn't come off as easily. So put a couple pumps of this. And again, put it over my moisturizer, all over my face, and some on eyelid too. Okay, and a little bit on the neck. Okay, so let it dry a little bit. The next step I use is concealer. So I just use anything a shade a little bit lighter than my natural shade. And I just put some under my eyes to cover the under eye dark circles, around the nose, anywhere where I have redness, any, pimples or anything like that. Okay, pat it out. And just a little shortcut for contouring, I like to put a line just down my nose. And this is going to help to bring out the bridge of the nose, make it look taller. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, so my next step is the foundation. I'm a big fan of makeup that's as natural as possible. I know it's hard to find makeup that's natural and that can last through a performance since we're going to be sweating in this and going to be wearing it for a long time, but just try as much as possible. And I want to invest in nice foundation, nice makeup, since it's going to be on my skin, and skin is the largest organ of our body. So right now I'm really liking this Burt's Bees foundation. So you can see I've used up pretty much all of it. Still have a little left. So I take a couple of pumps in my hand. And a little brush, swirl it and dab it on my face all over. Be sure it's nice and even. Just to kind of blend out the concealers a little bit to even out the skin. So pat it along the side of my nose, where I tend to get redness, under my eye, a little bit over my eyelids. So really want to try to even out my skin tone, creating a sort of a blank canvas for my face, which later I'm going to create art on. So makeup to me is kind of like an art. A little down the side of my chin, my neck. So I want to blend the foundation down my neck so that I don't just have my face one color and my neck a completely different color. To smooth out the transition. Okay, if I want my foundation to last, I sometimes would go over it with loose powder. Tap, get rid of excess powder, and just tap, 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 tap. Usually under my eyes, on my nose, on my forehead. Anywhere where I just want the skin to look like it's completely smooth. I don't like to put makeup on parts of my skin where I don't really need it, like my cheek. Sometimes if I can get away with it, I'll avoid it a little bit, just blending it out so that there's no harsh lines between the parts where I have makeup and parts where I don't. Okay, so this kind of helps a little bit to absorb some of the oil. I tend to have oily skin, and the sweat, because we're gonna sweat when we're dancing. Okay. Next up I do is contouring. So this is really important because I perform on a large stage with bright lights shining at me, and the lights actually wash me out. So it's really important to create these dramatic contours to make it look like I have shape on my face. I just use the bronze. It has a nice bronze shade, which works well for my skin tone. So I dip a little bit of this kind of angled brush, and then I go underneath my cheekbone on both sides, making it dark. And if it looks too dark, no worries, because believe me, it's not going to be too much when you're on stage and with that light shining on you. Oftentimes I'll see my videos and photos from performances and I can hardly see my makeup at all. So I know I just need to start putting more underneath the cheeks, and then a little bit on my temples. So a little bit on the forehead, on the side. Okay, so creating a shade. Okay, blending it out. I don't usually worry too much about blending too well because I'm so far away from the audience and in bright lights, so they're not really going to be able to see very clearly. Okay, so with the rest of this, I'm going to use a smaller brush and contour my nose and my eyes a little bit. Okay, so dipping it in, and I go along the side of my nose, making shades. And this is to give the illusion of a taller nose bridge and kind of thinner nose. That's what I'm going for. And a little bit on the tips. Again, if it's really dark, that's okay. So side. Okay. I could use even more. If it's too dark, I can always blend it out a little bit. Just a little bit over, and soften the lines a little bit. Okay, so a little bit over my eye socket here. I'm trying to create the illusion of a deeper eye socket. here, shade along the eye socket. Okay, a little bit underneath my eyes. Okay. Just to highlight my eyes and make my eyes pop a little bit more. Okay, well, this is the basis, kind of the foundation of the face makeup that I do. Usually if I'm doing like a Polynesian dance, Tahitian dance, Hawaiian dance performance, I might just stop here. I might put a little eyeliner and mascara and lipstick and that'll be it. But for belly dance, I'm trying to go for that dramatic Arabian Nights type of look, that fantasy look. And a lot of that comes from the eyes. So I'm gonna start working on my eyes. And I use some techniques that are a little bit unusual, but I've adapted this over the years to find something that works for me. So just wanna share some of the tips in case some of these might be useful for you. So a lot of the dancers, when you see them dance, they have this really nice dark lined eyes with this sharp inner corner and long tail that looks like cat eyes, or maybe even those Egyptian kind of pharaonic eyes. And lately I've been really liking that, and I'm trying to recreate some of it. So the challenge I have is that as you can tell, I'm Asian, I'm Chinese in fact, and my eye shape is different from a lot of the people who do makeup tutorials for these kind of eyes. So the method that I've adopted is, first I started with an eye pencil, and the inner corner, you see I have this fold, so I can't really draw this line, the inside corner. So I make a little drawing on top of the fold. Make a little triangle here. And then same thing on the other side. So on top of the fold. It's okay if it's not perfect right now because I'm gonna go over it later with black eyeshadow. But see, now it gives this illusion of an inner corner, that sharp inner corner. And especially from farther away on stage, you're not going to be able to tell that it's not real. So create that shape first on the inside, and then on the outside I follow the edge of my lower lash line and I drag it up, and I'm going to make this line crazy long, almost to my temple. All right, because the idea is that we want our eyes, our face to be larger than life, and if anything smaller, you're not going to be able to see your eyes. And we're trying to elongate the eyes, make it and big and visible. So same thing on this side. Kind of take it at an angle, take it to the side. Okay, so now once I'm satisfied with the length, okay, and I'm gonna fill that out. So the top, again, doesn't have to be perfect, it can be thick. In fact, actually, I make it thicker than I normally would. And then connect it up with the line. And then the bottom. Don't be afraid to be heavy-handed. It's okay, we're gonna fix all that later. So making it big. Okay, other side. So I like to hold my pencil at this angle, just drag along my lash lines. Oops, dropped a little bit, that's okay. And then connect it up. Okay. So kind of check that it's fairly even. Okay, so the reason why I like doing my liner first is because I want to create, I'm trying to create a new eye shape. This eye makeup method I think will work with other Asian belly dancers, or anybody who has similar eye shape or eye structure. And if there are other Asian belly dancers out there, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear some of your technique, and please share that with me. And I start out with a brown, light brown, kind of medium brown shade like this. And I just line my eye socket. I'm trying to create illusion of a deep eye socket. So this method is a cut-crease method that I've been using a lot lately, and I'm really liking. And don't be afraid to pack it on, because again, I want to be seen. So nice and thick here. So making sure to take it to the edge of your eyeliner, because that's the new edge of your eyes. So the whole idea is to elongate the eyes, make it look bigger than life. And I put a little bit underneath just to make my eyes pop. Okay. A little bit toward the inner edge. Okay. So the next step is to cut the crease. So meaning I'm going to create a new crease shape using my concealer. So that same concealer I was using before, I'm going to take a little brush and put it on my eyelid. So I'm creating the illusion of a bigger eyelid space, creating more space here, taking it above my usual fold. See that? And how high you take it is up to you, depends on your eye shape, where your eye socket is. I usually take it up to my eye socket. Okay, other side. See, with my eye fold, I get a lot of transfer in the eyeliner. So you can see, kind of transferred onto my eyelid, other parts of my eyelid, but that's okay. Covering it up with concealer. Okay, so a little bit higher. And my eyes are actually different shape on one side than the other. So I just kind of use makeup to adjust, try to make it look even, take this side up a little bit more than this one. Okay, so this is good. Next, go back to my eyeshadow palette. I take a big flat brush and I put a light shimmery type of eyeshadow like this one, the shimmery one, onto the new lid space, making it look like it's my actual lid. So today I'm doing a nice new kind of all-purpose brown, gold, tan look that tends to work really well with lots of different kinds of costume. Sometimes if I have a special costume and special color want to match, like purple or blue, and I'll put the color here on my eyelid instead of this shimmery champagne color. I'll put the blue or purple or other colorful colors. Okay, so now it looks like I have this new bigger eyelid space. Okay, from far. The next part is I darken the outer corners. And for this one, I use a really dark brown without shimmers usually, or I really like just jet black. So super dark, really highly pigmented. I take a smaller brush and I just take it to the outer edge and I make a little triangle shape and let it meet with my eyeliner here. So making it dark, dragging it out. Good. So it's almost as though I am making the fold of my eyes invisible. So on stage, anything that is light is brought up, anything that is dark is receding. So covering up the folds on the outside. And again, don't be afraid to pull it out, make it big. Look, if it looks too big, no worries. It's just gonna look better on stage. Okay. So that's what it looks like. It's kind of lifted up my eyes. And, you know, with the leftover on the brush, I might take it in a little bit even. Just kind of extra lining, defining that new crease here, new fold right here. Really making it look like I've, you know, that new fold, because it's darker here, it recedes. Okay. Okay. So next, I blend out a little bit. Okay. So a little bit out, just to soften some of the sharp edges. Don't worry too much if the blending's not perfect. It's not going to be visible anyway. Might use a little bit of a light color here, some kind of gold. Take it up to the arch, right underneath the arch of the eyebrow, just to lift up these bones here. Yeah. And I also like to put a little highlight, so use that same shimmery gold and just take it down the length of my nose to make it look like I have a taller nose bridge. Taller nose. Okay, a little bit on the cheek, lifting up the cheekbones. If you have a proper highlighter brush, by all means use that instead. Okay, so then next I line my eyes, and you can use a liquid eyeliner, or I just use this kind of brush, an angled detailer brush with this little small tip, and I use that same black eyeshadow, dip it in, and then I line my eyes again, following the eyeliner that I used earlier, just to darken and emphasize the lines. Okay, and make it darker the better. Okay, inside, see the eyeliner has already faded that I did at the beginning of my eye makeup. So I'm just gonna go over it again. And I can make the eyeliner a little bit thicker on top now, just because I have a larger lid space right now. Okay, a bit more here. Make sure the corners are even. Okay, this is what it looks like finished from a little bit of a distance. Next step, it's really important to define the eyebrows, okay, because that's guaranteed to disappear on stage if we don't. So I have a pomade I used a brush that comes with it, a little angled brush, and I'm trying to thicken my eyebrows. So I start out the second part, the farther side, and draw it out. So I'm lengthening the eyebrow out to match my new longer eyes. So taking the eyebrows out to almost a temple out. And thicker eyebrows is good. So just making it, you can even overdraw a little bit, making it a little bigger and thicker than you normally would. Again, just remember, this is not real life makeup. This is stage makeup for belly dance. It's gonna look ridiculous. This is what we're going for. Other side. Lifting it up. Okay, taking it out. A little bit more here. So dragging the line past your normal eyebrow. Try not to just close the eyebrow with the line of the eye. Leave a space there. That's really important. Okay. Nice thick eyebrows. Take it in a little bit on the inside. Bring it in a little closer. That's gonna make you look like you have a higher nose bridge. Going up. Good. Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so next, the fake lashes are a really important part of my makeup. Because my lashes are so short and sparse, I really need all the help I can get, and these really show up on stage. It makes a big difference. So you can put a layer coat of mascara on before you put these on. I don't usually need to do that because no one's gonna look at me up close. So if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. Put a thin layer of glue. Shake it out. Let it get tacky. And then stick it on top lid. Might even take it a little bit past the outside edge of my eye and tilt it up so that it looks like I'm going for longer eyes. and other side. Okay, just putting a layer of glue. Same thing, let it dry a little bit until it gets tacky. Okay, other side. Fake lashes definitely take practice to put on. It gets easier the more you put them on. So if yours don't just pop on like this, don't worry, it'll get easier. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Okay, so for my lips, I like to first line them. So on stage, again, the light is really going to wash us out, and I want to be able to see our mouths because I want people to be able to see our smiles or our mouthing the lyrics. So it's good to make your lips really dark, and that's how you're gonna see it. It's, you know, tempting to use cute pink color, but that's just not gonna show. So what I do is I take this brown, like a brown lip liner, and I line the outer edge of my lips and almost even slightly outside my lips because I'm trying to, again, make my mouth look bigger. Good. Out. Okay. And then color it in. And this is what's gonna make my lipstick stick. Okay, so it looks good just like this. Actually, sometimes I just go on stage like this. It's nice and dark. But depending on my makeup, sometimes I might layer lipstick on top. So it's a good way to blend the color and change up the color a little bit. So for today, I'm going to use red. So just take a really bright red lipstick. I take this and just run it over my lips. It's still gonna look dark and brown and, you know, defined, but just adds a little bit of a color and blend it out, smooth out the lip liner. Okay, so that's it. That's my makeup for my shows. Now I'm gonna talk about what I do with my hair. I usually put my hair up in a bun the day before the show. I wash my hair and just let it air dry, and then I coil it up and I put in a tight bun and clip it in place. I don't use any products. I don't use heat. And then when I get to the venue, I just let my hair out and shake it out, separate the curls, and voila, I've got curly hair without having to use any heat or products. And it doesn't last very long. Usually by the end of the show, it's all just straight out again. But, you know, it's a nice and easy way, simple way to do my hair. So I hope you found this tutorial video useful or interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share with me any comments you have, any tips, other technique, and I will look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.